So before this video starts, I just want to tell you guys that I kind of came up with this new idea for a series on my YouTube, and it's going to be called Art Talk with Hawk. And it basically just is me sketching while talking about a certain topic that's art related. So I think it's going to be kind of cool, and I'm going to try to post one every week, along with another video of like speed paint or something. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Hey there, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Art Talks with Hawk. So, this episode, I'm going to be talking about what makes a good artist, and these opinions are all my own. So you please don't feel inclined to follow these opinions. These are not the only facts that make a good artist. Obviously, there's a lot of things that go into it, and I don't mean to offend anyone at all. Also, so honestly, the question of what makes a good artist gets you really thinking. In my opinion, I've been working on my art I've always loved drawing, but I did drop it in around 5th grade, and I picked it back up about 4 years ago. And I've been working towards it since then. However, I do not own any of those, super expensive materials. So Copics, I don't own a single Copic. I've used them once. I have the Spectrum Noir, which are a pretty good alternative. And then the Chromatics, which I don't have one. Oh, no, right here. Chromatics, which look like this, which are okay. They're pretty okay. Most of them are dry, though. And then the Hobby Lobby brand, which I actually really like these. And I feel like, honestly, they're good enough for me. The most expensive art item I have are my Prismacolors, which are $72. So, and even then I got them 50% off. And then I used a gift card that my aunt had given me, so it's definitely not the quality of the supplies you get that makes you a good artist. I think it depends on how much time and effort you're actually willing to put forth into your art. So with me, if I'm not doing homework or if I'm not doing anything else, I am probably drawing. I spend a solid amount of time sketching, drawing, practicing, studying anatomy, just a little bit of everything. Because the more practice you get in, obviously the more you're going to improve, and you'll just end up getting to a point where you're actually happy with where your art is. Which currently I am at a point where I enjoy my art. And that's not very common for me, if we're speaking honestly. I usually get, my style tends to change a lot. And that's another thing, you gotta create this original style of your own. And my dog's barking. Anyways, you gotta create this original style that is your own style. And you have to establish yourself in the community. You have to find where you belong art-wise. So whether you like animals, whether you like drawing people, it's whatever you want it to be. Yeah, I'm sorry, my dog's barking in the background. Anyways, so for me, I started out with anime, and from there I just kind of went to dogs, I believe, and then back to people, but not anime, and now I'm more into realistic people and chibi, cartoony. But that will probably change, and I'm gonna say within probably the next year that'll change, because that's just what art is. It's pretty much just trial and error, and constantly just seeing whether you like what you're doing or not. It's obviously just all different for everyone, and as an artist, you will be your hardest critique. So you will look at your art very differently from how everyone else looks at it. So sometimes for me, I'm like, oh, I see a piece that I make and I'm like, oh, that's terrible, and I have a friend who's like, that's amazing, what are you talking about? Obviously, I know and I can spot all the flaws and all the mistakes that I made, but your friend doesn't know about what you went through to draw that. So it all makes a difference on how you perceive your art as well. So when you're happy with your art, that'll reflect in your pieces, and it'll definitely make you look like a better artist. When you're confident with your pieces, you appear as a better artist. And honestly, being a good artist does not mean that you are super talented and you can make these super amazing realistic pieces, because God knows I can't. I can't do that, but I would like to think of myself as a good artist because I do put the forth, and I do put the effort, and I really do put my heart into my artwork. And from what I can tell, it reflects. Now, if you're an artist and you're going into drawing, saying things like, oh, my art's crap, oh, this person, so-and-so's art is so much better, I can't draw, things like that, it's going to show in your art, because you're lacking that confidence, and you're not putting forth all that you have. But if you go into it understanding that, yeah, maybe now I'm not the most amazing artist, and now my anatomy is completely screwy, but in a few years' time with practice, I will be great, or I'll be able to draw this, then it'll make a huge difference. But you have to also remember that it's a thing that happens gradually over a period of time. It's not going to happen automatically. Because had I tried to draw something like this 3 years ago, it would not look like this. It would be pretty screwy. So it's all in your eyes, how you see it, and if you're willing to put in the time, and, honestly, if you're just seeing it as right now, maybe I'm not the best, but in a few years' times, I'll get better. If you're willing to put the improvement into it as well, then honestly, I think that's what makes a good artist. I see a lot of these young starting off artists who go out and spend $300 on all the Copics they can get their hands on, thinking, if I get the good supplies, that'll make my art amazing. And, well, no, I see it as, if you are gonna, as a starting artist, if you're gonna spend all your money on those supplies and then you don't know how to use them, or you're not using them properly, or, you're just using them haphazardly, you're gonna be wasting your money on that. So I would rather purchase cheaper materials to practice with before I move on to the expensive materials. But I mean, that's honestly just my opinion. There are some people who just make their own decisions, and that's perfectly fine. If you want to go out and buy Copics, I'm not going to be the one to stop you. Go buy your Copics if you want. Personally, I'm not a fan of Copics, but I know most people are, and I just think they're kind of overpriced. But, yeah, that's honestly, in my opinion, what makes a good artist. And those are the standards that I follow in order to do my own art. And I'd like to think they work. So if this video helped you, please just leave a comment or a like and subscribe. See you guys later.